Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Jacqueline Manso, and I'm born and raised here in Colorado. And I just want to first acknowledge the traditional territories of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute nations that we are on. So with that, I just wanted to let you all know a little bit about myself, a little bit about my research, and sort of my trajectory during my college, undergrad, master's, and now PhD. But I do want to just say I want this to be more personal conversation. I think sometimes we really get caught up in the academic terms, and I know for myself, the way I learn is just speaking from the heart, especially like that's how I was raised, just, be honest, be truthful. And obviously we're not all perfect, but it's all part of the process. So first, just like Sophie said, my research is talking about and identifying how youth get into the cycles of incarceration. So this sort of stems from personal experiences. My older brother was pushed out of school, and he was in and out of incarceration, as well as when I was in high school. I was kicked out of 2 high schools before I went to my other high school. And that's where I met my mentor, Karen Moreno. And, you always got to give props to those who supported you, right, through your journey. So this is me giving props to those who supported me through mine. So Karen, I was not supposed to go to college, like straight up. I was not supposed to go to college. I was, becoming part of this statistic that one of my principals, vice principal, told me when I was getting pushed out of my second high school. He straight up looked at me and was like, "You're just gonna be another statistic." And when he told me that, honestly, it really shocked me, because I was like, "What do you mean?" And so that's when I started formulating that, these systems, they're so embedded that there's a statistic, right? That, students are being seen as statistics, or being seen as, and already, he just, pretty much told me that. So anyways, I was part of the I Have a Dream Foundation. I don't know if any of you all have heard about that program, but they supported me in applying. And obviously I, really worked hard my junior year of high school, and I really did everything that I could. And the McNeill program really supported me. So as you all are here with the McNeill program, first, congratulations to freshmen and those of you who are already going through this program. So congratulations to you and to your families. But with that, I do want to talk about a little bit about my undergraduate career, but real quick, I know I talk really fast. How are people feeling? Can people hear me? Everything good?
Everything's perfect.
Okay. So as an undergrad, so I was part of the McNeill program, and they supported me with just space. I think that that's really huge. And I do want to acknowledge and say that you all don't come empty-handed to college. You all have assets and ventajas. Ventajas in Spanish is, I can kind of translate it to like next steps, like these, I don't know if someone else can translate it better, but it's kind of a hard term to translate. But that you have these assets that others do not, right? So just remember that, during your undergraduate career, that you all come with very vital assets and ventajas that you all need to really, engage with, right? And don't think that, because I was, I'm also a first generation student. So when I came, I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. I was experiencing culture shock. And boom, that's when, I started talking about and really diving into, well, what are the things that I bring? what are the things that you bring to the university space, right? Like I bring my knowledge of family, familia, ganas, you know, and you hear that a lot in our families, right? Like échale ganas, and it's this way of saying like, you know, put in all your work, put in everything, right? It's this cultural pride. So I also was involved with, and I would suggest you all get involved with, you know, different undergraduate programs. So for example, I was part of Umasi Mecha and a non-traditional sorority. So whatever you all want to engage with, you know, go for it. And I would say that through those programs, it really supported me in creating community. I think that's a huge thing that for me supported me through not only my undergraduate career, but also my master's, was having that community, especially coming from a place that community is a huge thing for me. So, you know, make sure that you have your friends, make sure that you're creating relationships with your professors because they are there for that, right? And later on, you can ask them, you know, to support you in letters of recommendations. So don't see them as this like power trip, power dynamic, even though I understand that the university makes it that way, but also see them as, okay, you know, I'm going to build this relationship with this person because they were in your shoes at one point as well. So I also had the opportunity to study abroad, and I know not everyone has that, you know, opportunity to do that. But if you do, I would say I would really, really suggest you looking into it. And depending on what the study abroad program, you know, goes, there's specific research. So like my study abroad program was about environmental justice in Costa Rica. And also I went to Cuba to learn about the revolution. So, you know, depending on what you're really into, like look into that. And that kind of goes way into like research, right? Like what is research and how do y'all get involved with research? Because that is important. And, you know, I think in our minds, we think of research as like someone in a lab coat and like something so far away from us. But in reality, no. Like when you think of a question, like I thought like, why are so many of my friends in high school getting pushed out? Why are so many of my friends going to juvie? Why is my older brother getting, you know, pushed out? Why is he in constant contact with the police? You know, why was I in constant contact with the police when I was young? So it's these questions, right, that nacen, born from yourself, right? That's what I'm saying. Like you bring your questions to the table, right? Because you know what, if you ain't doing it, no one else might not do it either. You know what I'm saying? And why not have that question come from someone who really understands it? So when you have that question, when you ask yourself, like whatever it may be, I know some of my homegirls are, you know, super into health, and they ask, how come my community don't have access to healthcare? And boom, that's the question. That's the research. That's what research is. It's asking the question that you need to ask. And then after you ask that, after I knew that's what I wanted to, you know, pretty much devote my whole life to, I seeked professors, I seeked books, I seeked things that were already talking about it. And, you know, I encourage you all, you know, if you want to get your master's, because my undergrad, it helped me formulate the question and really have like a basis, but my master's really helped me dive into it, right? Like the whole 2 years of my master's, it was literally answering the question, what's the relationship between youth and incarceration? And I was able to dive into that work, right? And now, you know, I hope with my PhD, I'm able to create and publish work and work with youth in the Boulder County area and Denver County. So y'all, please use this resource. Y'all are in school already. Y'all are here. You know, take advantage that unfortunately the university for a long time was not a place for students of color. It wasn't, that's just the history, right? We think about Los Seis de Boulder, you know, the 6 Chicanos who were bombed on CU Boulder campus. Well, not on campus directly, but, you know, they were students. So thinking about that and thinking about what you want to do, what you're passionate about, use the resources around you. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to be like, yo, I don't know who I could talk to about this, but I want to start looking into this type of research. Because guess what? There's probably somebody on campus or someone on campus that can direct you to work. So I just want to say too, so I think for me, the biggest things that really helped me during my undergraduate was my family. I think that if any of you all are feeling sort of, you know, down, you know, there's some periods of time, especially during finals and everything. And I think for sure, like using the spaces that you have and reminding yourself, all right, why am I doing this? Right? Like I had to ask myself through my master's, through my undergrad, so many times, why am I doing this, Jackie? Why are you doing this? And answer your question. Is it for your family? Is it for yourself? Is it for that one loved one, right? And for me, I always fall back to my brother, right? Like I'm doing this because I don't think it was fair how he was treated by the system and how till this day he's suffering because of the system. So whatever that thing is for you, flourish that, nourish that, you know, give it water, remind yourself, what are you doing it for? Who are you doing it for? And of course, you have to tell yourself too, during the hard times, all right, I know this is going to be a hard time right now, but I'm going to do what I have to do. If that's, you know, ceremony, if that's staging, if that's making your favorite comida from the house, try to make enchiladas or something, right? And if, you know, you don't know how, maybe you can ask your friend, your homie, hey, do you want to come over for food? Let's cook together. Go on a walk. Do whatever grounds you. Because a lot of times in the academic world, we feel a little bit detached. We feel a little bit almost like, whoa, I'm over here talking about all this theory, but how am I going to apply it? How do I ground myself in this work and not get lost in it, right? So I think if you're feeling that, as soon as you feel it and as soon as you sense it, it's time to ground yourself. It's time to come back. It's time to regroup. It's time to talk to mom on the phone, or if you know, guardian, it's time to talk to that person that reminds you what you're doing it for, the homies, whatever it is, you know, time to regroup, ground yourself, and keep moving forward. Because I promise you, it is worth it. I feel like education, that educational realm, has been both my favorite place and my worst place. But at the end of it, I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful that you all are here. And I wish you nothing but the best in your futures. And I'm sorry that I talked so fast. I just had limited time. And I have a class after this. So everybody, please take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and always, you know, be true to yourself, be true to who you are. Just because you're in this academic world, that don't mean that you got to forget who you came from or who you are. You know, you got to bring those pieces to the space. Don't forget that. Bring yourself to the space. Don't let the space change you, because it will. So you got to remind yourself, no, I am this person. I want to be this. I want to, you know, radiate this feeling or these thoughts, this knowledge from the home, knowledge from your abuelitas, from your ancestors, whatever it may be. Do not let education, you know, consume it. No, that belongs to you. And so thank you all so very much. I do want to give my email out to you all in case you want to, you know, have any questions, or you ask, you know, just want to just know how the masters went, or if you just want to say what's up. So it's going to be JAMA6236 at colorado.edu. And Paula, if you could give that, okay, thank you. Yes, or Dean, thank you, Dean. So thank you.
So I want to say, Jackie, I don't know if I made it clear. Jackie is on campus now earning her PhD. We are thrilled that you came back to see you, Boulder. So if we have time for just like one question or comment, does anyone have anything burning they want to say? There was so much to respond to. So drop it in the chat or speak up because we're short on time.
I want to say something.
Yes.
Yeah, just thank you for your words. I think it's something that a lot of us forget, and we need to be telling ourselves constantly. I know for me, like when you said that you weren't supposed to be in college, like I really related to that, because I feel the same about myself, and it just reminding ourselves that what we're doing is really big, and just I don't know, just being proud of ourselves, because these little milestones that we think, like, I know for myself, I'm like, oh, like, yes, I graduated, but I'm like, oh, but that was nothing. Like, no, these things are huge, and we gotta have our backs, and I don't know, it was really inspirational what you said, so, yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Betsabet. And I just want to acknowledge too, and piggyback what you said, hype each other up, you know, like legit hype each other up. Like till this day, oh, my parents will not tell me how proud they are, but I know they're proud. Because they're just like, échale ganas, that's what you're supposed to do. Échale ganas, go. But me and my girls and me and my homies, we hype each other up. So hype each other up. Say, hey, let's get to class. Come on, man, let's do this. You know, because I knew a lot of people who, unfortunately, they did leave college because it is hard. So, you know, support each other, give each other the notes. Like, so, like, come on, like, we are a community. That's how we gotta like get through this through a community, because that's what got us here. That's what's gonna get us through, and that's what's gonna continue to help us further in life. I promise you. I promise you.
Great. Jackie, thank you so much. I know you have class, but thank you for making the time for us in our community. We're so proud of you as an alum. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Students, she is an amazing resource. She's on campus, hit her up. Thank you so much. We are so very appreciative, and your words were very impactful. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. And it's nice to see you and nice to see everybody. So many beautiful faces. So y'all take care and peace.